H-Town, what's up? You know what time it is. It's time for the best 120 minutes of your day. The Chop Shop, the nation's #1 urban sports talk show, and also your midday sports happy hour. Yours truly, Robert Hatter, alongside Jim Hicks and sometimes Chris Walker, coming to you live from Houston, Texas, but we're broadcasting all over the world via Facebook Live and YouTube Live. I'm sorry about the delay this morning. It just happened. I had to troubleshoot some stuff. It wouldn't let me beam out to the world. So I had to troubleshoot. Didn't take me but about a few minutes to get it done. You know, long time ago, it would have been a crazy, but now I know how to troubleshoot. I'm a problem solver now. So I know how to solve that problem. But welcome, Happy New Year. That's the first show of the new year. Let me tell y'all something. It's going to be hot. It's going to be different. I'm going to need your participation, but it's going. So share the show right now. I ain't going no further. Let's share the show. Let me look at someone. Let me talk to my starting five first. Let me see what my starting five doing right here. Let me look at all my devices and make sure I see he hadn't said nothing, but he up there. But let me go. Chris Charles, Dedrick Carr, Thaddeus Moody, Ricky Scott, and Jonathan Griffin. And my sixth person of the day is Belinda Jonican. Hey, Belinda, Happy New Year. How I am absolutely great. Oh, y'all just don't know. Oh, it's good. It's good. And I hope it's all well for y'all. I got something for y'all. Y'all need to share this with your friend. You need to text, tag, tell somebody, because I got a couple of nuggets. We're going to talk about sports. Yes, but y'all got to understand, if we ain't living right, we ain't going to have time to watch sports. So we got to figure out some ways. We got some nuggets to help each other into this new year, man. I ain't playing no games. This new year, I ain't playing no games. Let me see who else I see. I see you, Jay. I see you. Thad is all the way in Phoenix, Arizona, on the other side of town. He said, thank you for giving him the best source. Y'all got, listen, Chad, hold on. I got to give y'all a story about that one. If y'all see, I got the Pointer sisters in my back, in the back of me. Anita Pointer passed away over the weekend. Matter of fact, New Year's Eve, right before 12 o'clock, her former boyfriend, husband, a soulmate, who's a great friend of mine. He texted me right before New Year last night. I got to share your story about that one. Great woman. Hey, Tina. Hey, Reginald. Hey, Corey. Yes, I got some bad news. Freightman, I saw that you were on there. I see Dale Griggs, I think I said something. Hey, Jason. Y'all, this is a shareable show. I'm gonna give you some stuff you ain't never heard about. And he said the legendary Eugene White, brother, Maurice White, passed away. Barbara Walters, passed away, and I got a little clip for y'all. I'm gonna tell you why I'm gonna always like Barbara Walters, but I got this little one thing she did that just made me think. These new people in the news now, they ain't nothing like these people here. I told you this entertainment news now. This ain't doing what she was doing. Wait till I show you how she roasts one of y'all favorite characters in a little interview. But I'm gonna get to that. Happy New Year, everybody. Hey, Rabbit. Hey, Reggie Simpson, Corey, Rick. You got to share the show. I got too much to share y'all today. It's on. Let me tell you something. Got so many things. First of all, I want let me go to Anita first. Singing Power. Anita Pointer. I was lucky enough to know her. Anita was not only a great singer, listen to me, was a great person as well. And I've told this story on this show before, but it was a while back. How her fiance, James Arsenault, great friend of mine. When I was in LA, me and Charles Woodson were spending a lot of time in LA, and I wanted him to have a good meal. I wasn't gonna cook him no good meal, so a friend of mine introduced me to James Arsenault, who's a master chef. Eddie Murphy, Johnny Gill, all of those guys, and Anita Pointer happened to be Anita Pointer's fiance. And Anita stayed on the top of this hill in Beverly Hills. If you ever go up Beverly Drive, if you leave going out of Rodeo Drive and go up Beverly, that street called Beverly, and just keep riding around the mountain. At the top of the mountain, it's called the Summit. She stayed in this subdivision, her along with Holly Robinson and what's his name, Rodney Peete. And I would have never thought about going on this mountain. And I was up there at her house. I was almost there every day because, her fiance was cooking food and meals for Charles, because I wanted Charles to have some home cooked meals while we were in LA. It was in LA for a long time. And yes, rest in peace to Gangsta Boo too, but I didn't know who she was. So I don't have a story about Gangsta Boo, Chris Charles. I wish I had. I don't even know what she sing. But Anita Pointer, I happen to know her real well. So, and James, is an avid golfer, but he just wasn't better than I was. And I never forget, she invited me out to, I think she might have flew me out. I'm not sure. Flew me out to, I know she from Memphis. I just don't know who she is. I know she from Memphis, Doug. I just don't know. She was with 3 6 Mafia. I know exactly who she is. I just telling you, I didn't know her, Doug Smith. I know where she's from. Okay? Thank you. But back to Anita. She flew me out there to play golf with her, with James, right? So I never forget it. They had a residency, I guess, at one of the hotels. It's for New Year's for the whole week. So I was out there for the whole week. And at the hotel, I mean, they just took care of me. But my function for his birthday, I guess for his Christmas present, he wanted to play golf with me. So she brought me out there to play golf with him. But things didn't work out too well for him. I won a lot of money off of him. And when I say a lot, I'm not gonna say it on TV, but it was a lot. And I kind of felt kind of guilty. I said, I can pay for my room. I can pay for my room. The much money I don't want from him, I felt kind of guilty. And he said last week he was going back to see her because she was sick. She was real sick. She had stage 4 cancer. And he was going to see her. And she said, how's Robert doing? Talking about, James, don't get mad at me. But every time y'all play golf, you used to always come back mad because you could never beat him. And that's how she remembered me as always. Hold up. The guy who always have her man cooking for the football player. I don't think she remembered who Charles' name was. Always. So it was a phenomenal, this the kind of experience I had. Like I said, she wasn't just a great, I didn't know the Pointer sisters were that big where she can live like that. She had a castle. up on the summit. If you're ever lucky enough to go up on top of that hill, it's gated community. You can't get in. But if somebody lets you in, you're going to see that how you're going to say, what the hell? I mean, you just never know. And I got a chance to be, now look here. I don't know nobody who live there now, so I ain't been able to go back. Hold up. I ride up there, but I haven't been able to go back in. But it was a unique, unique story. He called me this morning. And he said, man, your girl, that's your girl. Because I used to always say, she was just so nice. See, y'all, we got people who ain't did a smidgen of what she done done and walk around here thinking they stuff don't stink. Evil, divas. You ain't never heard about her being a diva. The sweet, when I tell you, I think that's the first time I went to somebody's house that had a racquetball court, basketball court inside of it. And, everybody got them now. But not everybody, but them kind of people got them. But she was just so nice. Robert, check out your hotel. You stay up here. No, man, I like to see my. No, but the house it's just unbelievable. But shout out to her. Rest in power, my queen. She's transitioned. She's going to be with the ancestors, but y'all, this was a nice, nice woman. I wanted to tell you she was a great, great, great woman. And I had to share that with you. Now we can talk about the girl, Gangsta Boo. I didn't know who she was. I don't like rap that much, so I heard of a Gangsta Boo. And I know she from Memphis, Doug Smith, but I didn't know. I don't have a story like this, DeMar Hall, to tell you about the great Anita Palmer. Guess what? I never met the other, I never not formally, I never got close to the other ones at the concerts, because they had a concert every night. So guess what? I had to go to the concert every night, every night. I think they were there for a week. And I'll never forget that, man. That was one of the highlights of my life, being able to meet somebody that lived on top of that hill. And tonight, I got something for y'all tonight. Tonight, Texas Southern versus the Southern Jaguars tonight. The women's game started at 5:30 at the H&PE Arena. The men's game started at 7:30. Tickets available at the ticket window. Do me a favor. If you don't buy I advise you, unless you just want to, don't get your ticket online unless it's a fee. It's a fee that goes on with it. You can pay face value at the door, and please go up and come out and support Texas Southern tonight. It's Southern. They bring us two of our own. Bryson Etienne and PJ Henry are playing tonight. So two of our guys, both of them went to Bush High School. Like Jimmy said, Marshall should be all over the place. Bush should be all over the place. Y'all should be bringing your kids to these games like this and let them know. Y'all always talking about where y'all want to play, where y'all want to do, and what y'all want to do. Let me tell you something. These guys can play. And where else I'm going? Anybody, the boat. Let me see. Tina said my favorite song of theirs was Cowboy. Oh, yeah. You got to believe in something. Yeah. But Tina, which one behind me is Nita? The one right here. That's Anita right there. Right there. Thank you for asking that question, Jace. Right behind me, right here, with the diamond necklace on, right there. Yeah, right. It's inverted, y'all. I'm trying to. Right there. That's Anita. Darryl Barnes, what's up, man? Eric Boone. It's just got okay. She's somebody talking about the royalties. Man, let me tell you something. That I wish I could take all of y'all up there one time. But the bowl games over the weekend. Had a great time watching them. Both of the teams I wanted to win lost. Great story about one of the kids who was in the bowl game. I got to share with y'all. Happy New Year's to you too, Darryl Barnes. I want to share with y'all about it. What else I see over the weekend? I want to talk about the Eric Gordon thing. Eric Gordon came on. Anita's wearing a thank you. Anita is wearing a diamond. Thank you, DeMar. Thank you, babe. Thank you, man. She right over here. Yeah. But let's see where I go. Eric Gordon, I want to share with you something about Eric Gordon and what he said over the weekend. I don't know if y'all heard about it or not. Hey, Rashad, share the show, everybody. Share it because it's about to get good. I want to share with y'all a man who I wish You know, let me tell y'all something, and I want y'all to learn this from Robert Half. Shout out to Dale Griggs and her Dallas Cowboys for just winning and winning and winning and winning and winning and winning. I am becoming a believer of them. But what was I? The bowl games all came down to a last second play, you know, here or there. I think they were all winners. I just think about all the money that they made, and but the bowl games, she was cheering for. But both teams that I didn't want Texas, TCU to win. I didn't want Alabama to win. I ain't gonna lie. I just don't. Nothing about them two colleges that Robert had just. I like the campus of TCU, but no, I wasn't cheering for them. TSU, the men play. I'm glad you said it. I'm gonna repeat that more and more throughout the show. Texas Southern plays Southern tonight, right? The women's play at 5:30. That's when the women start, and the men start at 7:30, right? And guess what? I'm gonna call the game tonight. So if just come out and hang out with me. Come on, just come on out. I'm gonna call the game tonight. And we have a game on Wednesday also against Grambling. So tell your friends, share the post, share what I just told you, and we'll go from there. But y'all, when my son was playing college basketball, I was blessed enough to be able to go on all the trips because I wanted to go to all of these guys, especially the conference games. What's up, Brad? Happy New Year, Brad. Especially conference games. So, I told y'all about some of the trips. I love to go to Harvard. I love to go. My worst place, if I had to say, was Brown. I didn't like Brown. I didn't like Brown. I didn't like Brown. That's in Providence. Put a footnote there. I love going to Princeton. I love going to Columbia. Yeah, love going to Columbia. Love going to Yale. Yale got one of the prettiest campuses in the world. I love going to, did I say Harvard? Princeton, Penn. Penn was my favorite trip. But, hey, Kelton, what's going on, man? Kelton, I'm waiting on you to call me back. Hey, D. Holcomb. What's the goal? Chris Dunn. The young kid, Chris Dunn, was playing at Providence. So that, after Robin played Brown on Saturday, I stayed around so I could meet with Chris Dunn on Sunday because Providence had a game on Sunday. I forgot who they played against. And I was trying to represent Chris Dunn. It didn't happen for me, but I was working. But one thing, I saw a special this weekend, and one thing I hate that I came up there and had the opportunity. I didn't meet the coach. You got me? His name Ed Cooley. Ed Cooley. Yes. He played with the Bulls. Yeah, he's in the G League right now. But Ed Cooley, the coach from Providence, and I know a lot of y'all don't even know who this guy is. One of the most amazing men. And I didn't go. I came up there. See, sometimes on your recruiting trips, you want to meet with the player. If the player don't bring you into the coach, you don't normally go. But I wish I had met this man because he had a special this weekend. Him and Clark Kellogg was interviewing that just blew me away. Y'all need to go find it. Ed Cooley and Clark Kellogg's interview. Got to go find it. It was 33 minutes long. One of the most inspiring. All I'm sitting up there saying, why did I go just take the time out and meet this man? I'm going to meet. I know he'll be here for the Final Four. I'm going to seek him out. I know too many people in the business. When he's here, I'm going to seek him out. I got to go and meet him. He is an amazing, amazing man. And he said, I'm trying to see what he said. He said, only regret he had, because, coaching take you away from your family. He said, I might have been an amazing dad. I might have been an amazing father, but I should have been a better dad. In other words, father who provides and all that, but the dad, the one who'll be there for his kids, because it used to keep him away from his kids. He said the best time in his life when his son and his daughter comes over and just kick it with him. And young men and young women, let me tell y'all something. I know y'all go off and y'all think y'all famous and y'all go do this and y'all, but let me say sometimes all your mama and your daddy want just to be there in your company, to be there and kick it. Corey, you probably know this. Daryl Anderson, you probably it's gonna happen to y'all. Kids grow away from it. Robert Hatter, they did a special doing last year Final Four. Awesome. But this man, y'all, I'm telling you about this man. I'm gonna seek him out doing Final Four. That's the only coach I am gonna thoroughly go see. The things he did. Think about this. He was a young man. He never fathomed in his mind. He grew up in Providence. You remember I said I didn't like Brown? Brown is where Providence is. Providence is not a nice town to me. Oh my God. I forgot what I don't even think I stayed in a hotel. I think I stayed somewhere else and came back. I don't remember. It was a few years ago. But I was just thinking about him. He said he grew up a mile from Providence. He grew up in a neighborhood. He grew up. He said he didn't have no mentors. Y'all see, this is why I tell you to share the show. So one young kid can know, one of your kids can know. Y'all can be on a sports talk show like that guy on the screen. He didn't have an example. He said the only thing that he had, but back then to even hold on to, it was John Thompson. And he said once he saw John Thompson, he came to and practiced at his high school gym he was at when he was and he got to meet him. He said him and Don Chaney, he looked up to them, and that's why he was, he wanted to be a college coach. Think about it. He grew up, Penny Hardaway, in the city. Penny grew up not far from, yes, matter of fact, not from Memphis, and able to coach your team. But Penny grew up in poverty. He didn't grow up wealthy. Y'all look at him now. He grew up in a shotgun house. Go look at the history. And I look at him and I look at Ed and I look what they're doing for these kids. And it's just amazing, man. We have to start. People. Somebody just sent me the man's number right there. See what I'm talking about? Somebody. Y'all think I'm lying? No, y'all know I am. Somebody just sent me. I ain't want to show y'all. Somebody just sent me his name. His number and his contact immediately. Y'all. It's just. I just want to meet this man. Okay. And then yesterday, I'm at dinner at a back. I'm not at dinner. I'm over a friend of mine's house the other day, and I talked to one of the guys there, and he called me. Me and him talked on the phone the other day, and then he called me back. I said, "Why are you calling me?" He called me right back. I thought it was a mistake. He said, "Man, hold on. I just want you to talk to somebody. I want you to talk to somebody." And he put his 80-year-old mother, Tina, on the phone. Tina, listen. He put his 80-year-old mother on the phone. Because he told his mom, I just got off the phone with Hat on the Chop. She said, let me talk to him. Let me talk to him. So she just said, I watch your show. My baby come over my house and bring me some food. And he always have your show on at that time of day. And I tell him, you can go in another room, but you leave this phone right here. So I got to hear Hatter. I got to hear the Chop Shop. So let me tell y'all something. Let me tell you something. Bless y'all little heart. I know some of y'all. He be getting on me. Look at Eric Bone. That's my dude now. He be getting on. No, I don't. All I do is challenge you. Kirk Dorsey, what I'm learning in our community, we don't like to be challenged. We like somebody come on the other day and say, man, if somebody disagree with what you say, I don't mind you disagreeing. I just want you to have, I'm going to ask why. If you just can't say it. You just can't say, it's a spaceship up there. Expect for me to just agree with you as a spaceship. Robert Hatter ain't gonna do that, baby. I'm just telling you, this ain't that show. This ain't that show. Okay? So, but when an 80-year-old woman, is telling her son, can you imagine the stuff she's seen in 80 years? And she resonates with what's happening on this show. I got an 11-year-old and a 12-year-old that watches the show when he's not at school. From 80 to 11. It blew me away, man. It made my day. I was riding in the car, and I'll never forget this. She stopped me in my tracks. I said, man, she said, baby, keep doing what you doing. You remind me of my husband. I said, wow. And he didn't take no mess. And I like to think I'm just a little old teddy bear. But some of y'all think I'm mean. No, I'm not. Eric know when we around each other. If they know, but on this show, I got a responsibility and I got a role. Don't never forget that. Bron had a good birthday game. Yes, absolutely. LeBron had a great birthday game. I'm just talking to. What's up, Kirk Dorsey? What's you doing? Gary Carter said, I'm just here to tell you the Minnesota Vikings. Yes, Minnesota Vikings got beat by the what's them boys' name up there? The Green Bay Packers. I used to know them guys. What's up, Chris? What's up? Always challenge you if you don't. Hey, DeMar, that's all. But DeMar, they messed around. DeMar, DeMar, I got this for y'all. I got this, y'all. I think I wrote this down. Where did I put it? I put it somewhere. I put it somewhere, y'all. Y'all don't understand. See, it's something, and I know I put it here. Wait a minute. Yeah. Oh. Let me tell you something. It's a wise man told me the other day. He said, Rob, he said, they don't understand, and I'm going to let y'all know, if you don't understand, in this season of my life, I'm just drained from having to dummy down my intelligence just so mediocre people can feel comfortable. I'm going to repeat this. I want you to take it, and I want you to take it from yourself. I'm in a place in my life, a season in my life, that I am drained from having to dummy down my intelligence. In other words, not ask questions. In other words, just let everybody just say crazy. I want to ask why. Just so mediocre people can feel comfortable. There's some people say, let's just talk about what's happening in the hood. Let's talk about the PGWs. Let's talk, man, we done talked enough about the PGWs. They gonna still be there. We done talked about sometimes I am not, just for you to feel comfortable, I am not, I repeat, not gonna dumb it down. Me, I can't do it. I can't do it. Kelton said, I need LeBron to have the same energy for the rest of the season. He can't do that. Can't do that. LeBron, 39 years old now. They talking about, I'm just, what people putting it on the screen. But don't y'all let nobody, coach, you know a little something. And other people don't know it. And they want to. Well, why? I'm going to ask why. And guess what? It makes you sharp. It makes you sharp. When y'all ask me stuff, I try to come back at you. If I don't have the answer, I'm going to go get it. Jalen Hurts is the team, not the system. Oh, I hear y'all talking. Y'all talking football. Okay, we can talk a little bit of that. Y'all talking about football. Don't forget the SWAC starts tonight, in case you just come on. Texas Southern and Southern in the building tonight. We got two Houston players playing on Southern's team. PJ Bird. I got to tell y'all this incident that happened. Kevin, I ain't even told you. Kevin Allen, guess what happened yesterday? I had an incident happen. Okay, yesterday, I need to pull up. Yeah, Kevin, you need to pull up. You need to pull up, Gary. Hey, let me tell y'all something. Something happened. I mean, I love it. I love it. And hold on, I want to pull it up before I get to talking about it. I had hold up, TSU, hold up, let me put something in. Y'all, this is this different. Okay. So yesterday I was going to I went over to TSU to interview Sean Woods, the head coach of Southern University, right? Saw PJP. Bryson Etienne stopped everything he did. Came gave me a hug because he was on TSU team last year. Y'all see this the kind of stuff that's happening tonight. Bryson was on TSU team. Now he on Southern team. Okay, so I'm just sharing it with y'all. Now watch me. Y'all follow me here. So I'm interviewing a coach, chatterboxing now. We having fun interviewing the coaches. And guess what happened? So something happened that I didn't have no idea. So I'm gonna leave that alone so interview the coaches. So later on, I came back later because I wanted to interview Vernett Skeet. Let me tell y'all right now. Vernett Skeets. Oh my goodness. Kevin Granger, VP, President Young. I sit and watched her practice. Bless her heart, I never seen Cynthia's practice. Let me tell y'all a secret. Wouldn't nobody know this. I'm bringing y'all behind the curtain. Don't you tell nobody I told y'all. I'm in the practice. Guess who else watching her practice? Johnny Jones. Sitting there watching intently. He said, that lady there got some good stuff. I'm sitting here. I know y'all wouldn't have get this from nobody. Don't nobody know this was me, because wasn't nobody over there but who? Me. This breaking news. Me and Johnny Jones. He said, that girl, that woman there, Robin, I always come in and watch her practice. I said, wow. So you know what I did? Shut up. Start watching. So then Chatterbox called me over. So me and him talking, we get some little stuff. We get some little stuff together for the show. You know, we just trying to practice and make sure everything all right, right? All of a sudden, Vernett Skeets came over and said, if y'all need a room to do y'all interviews, I can get a room for you. I'm thinking we talking too loud, but I know we wasn't. In other words, she said in a sweet way, but what the hell y'all doing in my practice? She don't know. She don't know us yet. She talked to us on the phone so to get the interview. She don't know everything yet. But I found out later she had to come and be interviewed by us. Then she said, you know what? I didn't know this was y'all because I had on a light blue warm-up. Guess what Southern University's colors are? Light blue. I was there earlier to interview with the coach. The other women's coaches saw me there. So they was telling her I was the coach for Southern and I'm in their practice. They didn't know. One assistant coach didn't know who, so he was complaining to her that we in here giving interviews at their practice. He was and I talked to him later after. That's why I found out all this stuff. That's communications. Because y'all got to figure out this our first time being around and coming to the women's practice. Maybe I think it's our fault that we should have been there. So, I mean, it was crazy, But when she said, I'm sorry. She said, I knew you wasn't, but they were telling me you were. Cause what? Kevin Allen had already introduced me to the coach. But her coaches was telling her like, Coach, they in here. That's something. Cause guess what? In his defense, he saw Bryson Etienne come and hug me, and PJ Bird come to hug me. You follow me? No, but this coach is from Oklahoma. I'm gonna tell you his name, so y'all can get him when his name Art Bogan. Nice guy. I talked to him afterwards, and I said, Coach, and he had some other stuff going on because he had to get it. You know, usually when you come in, the visiting team, they just get on out the way. And I guess some people got in their way a little bit. You know, Southern players were lingering to get to the bus, I guess because they were waiting on the coach. But they don't have to wait on the coach. The coach do interviews like that. So he was kind of upset about that. I didn't know all of this until after I go over there and talk to Coach Bogan. You follow me? So it was crazy because Vernette Skeet so smooth. She said, look, you know how some coaches are assholes. Man, y'all got to get the hell out of here with this. She said, look, I can get you a room or office if you want to have an interview. We didn't understand what she was talking about because we going to interview her. So it was just a big, big misunderstanding. But guess what? That's when you got respectful people and great leaders like she was, when I got a chance to talk to her before the interview, I didn't have the camera. Let me tell y'all something. Don't judge her right now with this young team. The closeness and the togetherness of these young women. Great hire. I love her. I mean, her two kids were courtside. The little boy kept running out on the floor. She get it back on the floor. But let me tell y'all something, man. Shout out to TSU, man. Y'all need to come out here and support these people, man. Michael Gray, got a young freshman from Oklahoma City called Michael Gray. She's gonna be fun to watch this year. So let me we interviewed her yesterday also. You can hear the interviews on the broadcast if you listen to the broadcast. You can be at the game and download the TSU app and watch the game, y'all. But no, Simeon Sims, they didn't know I had on. Y'all gotta understand. To the people who wasn't paying attention, I looked like I was with Southern. I didn't get mad. Guess what? I got to do my job. I still got to interview this lady. So I didn't have time to sit up here and get in my feelings because I said, yeah, okay, you're right. So it was good. But I had to tell y'all this story. Like I said, SWAC play in tonight. Football season is dwindling down. Did anything happen great in high school basketball? And I want to explain to you parents too. I know we was talking about all these different options for these lower level school, less than D1 schools. Let me tell you some parents, it's a cost that's involved in it. So you remember when Robert had always said, man, just make sure you get the best grades you can so you can get scholarship money and you can get, it goes in not just the best basketball player, be the best student athlete. And the reason I found out, because a friend of mine's son was playing for Houston Tillerson. And she virtually said, hey, I paid for him to go to this school to play basketball. So always remember, but guess what? You're not paying for basketball. You're paying for an education. And it's okay to pay for education. That's what I was saying. Listen to me, and I'm going to repeat that. So when your son is blessed to get a free ride from one of these schools, and you know, and he goes there as a freshman and get the whining and talking about it ain't going this way. Whoa, player. All this transfer portal. Whoa, player. Some people still ain't got out of the transfer portal. Y'all, I just want y'all to understand that. when you go into these colleges, what are you? First of all, my number one question is, Brandon Nicholson, what are you going? What is little Johnny going to school for? I've gave you the numbers, parents. You want him to be a pro? Okay, be a pro. I support that. But what happens if he don't become that 1%? What happens? Which is more likely that he might not. What happens? It ain't but less than 5,000 players 5,000 people have ever played in the NBA in our lifetime. So what happens? What happens? So let me tell y'all something. Look at Brandon. Brandon said she just saw what I told her to watch the other day. Parents, I be watching Twitter. Parents, listen to me. That's why I tell y'all to share the show. It's a whole lot of people out here don't know what the hell they're talking about on Twitter. And they have influence over your kids. I'm watching you like their tweets. I'm watching you like their stuff. I'm watching you like parents. Now I see why people be threatened when I ask why. Because they want to keep y'all dumb. They want to keep y'all uninformed. This thing shouldn't be that hard. If you think your son's a pro, if you feel your son's a pro, email me at chopshophtx@gmail.com. Guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to call the people who actually make the damn decisions on who become pros. Not these dudes who writing and putting you a video up on the website. I repeat that. That don't make your son no pro. I don't care how many videos he got. That don't make him a college player. I don't care how many videos he got. I said pro. I ain't said college. Notice I stay in my lane. I can tell whether he'll be a college player, but I can tell better if he'll be a pro or not. Shout out to Booker T. Washington, won the Vite International tournament over Dawson. How was that tournament? Anybody got anything to say about that tournament? How was the tournament? See, we got people. See how important this is. See how important this is. People want to talk about their kids playing basketball. Okay? But where do you think your kid's going to be? Let's make sure he's a student. Because some of them schools we told y'all about, Jimmy was saying, y'all can get to these schools. And some of these schools, you got to pay. Mamas and daddies, you got to pay. So I just had to share that with y'all. Anything else? I call a dude who covered basketball and ask him, did anything exciting happen over the weekend about basketball? And he said no. And he covered the events. So I'm asking y'all, Patrick Punch, did you go? Darryl Barnes, did you go? No, you wasn't here. Simeon Sims, did you go? Tell me something exciting that happened to your kid or to your friend's kid. Tell me who balled. So right now, I'm going to give them the call. Tell me who balled. High school basketball. This your opportunity right now from Robert Howard. This before Jimmy come on. Tell me who balled so I can give you the call. I'll wait. I got time today. See this beautiful lady behind me right here on this side? She passed away this weekend. Great friend of mine. That's why I got the Pointer sisters up, in case you're wondering who are these ladies behind me. That's Ruth Pointer. Beaumont. Yes, Beaumont United. There you go. Silsby and Beaumont. Wait a minute. Hold. See this news. Hold on. Let me put this on. Let me. So, Silsby, Beaumont United, and Beaumont Westbrook, and Port Arthur all won first place in tournaments. Oh my God, what's in the water up there? You know what, y'all? If TSU wasn't playing tonight, I just think tomorrow I'm just gonna ride up to Beaumont. I just want to ride up there. What the hell y'all doing up there? Talk to me, Beaumont. What? Text all your Beaumont people right now. Tell them to watch the show. Tell me what the hell is going on in Beaumont. Wesley Yates hitting the game winner. What did Silver do? What did the great Jairus Harris do? And what his name? Draylon. What's the other kid? Draylon Miller. His name? Beaumont Westbrook. What did they do? They got who they got on that team? They got my little young, the Garrett, and another dude on that team. Ashton, that's his name? Y'all talk to me. Y'all help me. Where my basketball people at? Tell me something. Let me tell y'all something. What Harris had 32. Kenneth Lofton, y'all got some. Are y'all seeing this? I'm finna ride up there, man. I'm telling y'all this week, I'm just riding up there. I just want to go and breathe some of that air up there in Beaumont. They all train and work together regardless of school they go to. That can't be the secret. I know some people who work together down here the same way. Landon, that's not it. But everybody ain't got no dogs, though. The dog is in here. Keep going. What else we got? What else? Do y'all see? Do y'all see this? Man, I think I'm the only one out here talking right now. I think good players always come out of that area. Not like this. Melvin News, because this dude here don't have a clue, Corey. I was on the phone. Wait till I tell y'all what he did last night. Y'all hold up. I got something for him. Hold on. Melvin News. Does every year Beaumont United, Silsby, Beaumont Westbrook, and Port Arthur win first place in a tournament every year? Does that happen every year? Because he's saying it happened. We ain't talking about no good players come out of the damn area. That ain't the point. A lot of people got good players. There's good players come out of Dallas. There's good players come out of Houston. There's good players come out of everywhere. Corey Henderson. We ain't talking about players. We talking about them dudes. Let me put it on because he can't see. Because he definitely can't hear. Let me put this on the thing, maybe. Let me put this on. Let me tell y'all something. I'm finna tell y'all a text I got last night. I got to tell y'all this text. This kind of text, y'all. I keep trying to tell, and y'all be mad at me, but this kind of text. Okay, this kind of text. Corey, we talking about this feat. It's great players come out of everywhere. But these people go in here. Hold up. I got something. Somebody text me. Somebody on this feed. I ain't gonna call his name. He said, hold on. We was talking about, I don't know how we talked about it. He started it. He said, he called me with Memphis. Shaking my head. I was watching till the 3 minute mark. They were up against Tulane. Now, he ain't texting me all day. But this what he do. I said, okay. Conference play. Here we go. I said, so he had another. I ain't going to tell you about that one. I'm going to leave that one on. So I said, here you go. He's talking about bad loss. Because I said, wait a minute. Memphis lost to Tulane. Tulane at home. They play them hard all the time. He talking about, here you go, bad loss. Watch this. Hold on. Hold on. Let me finish on it. These kind of conversations, y'all. He gonna explain. He finna explain to me why I tell y'all, don't y'all let these people dumb y'all down. So I said, that coach beat us last year too. Same coach. He said the coach is good. He's going to beat some more team as well. So I go on record as saying Memphis has got to have the oldest and dumbest player in Division I. I done said it before. Watch this. Listen. So whatever success the team has, I love it. Because I'm just telling you. See, I love my team even though they lost. Watch this. I always tell y'all this story about Bobby Knight. He said, dumb loses more games than smart wins. Right? Then he come back. The coach at Tulane is good. So y'all know what I asked him. What's good about it? What's good? He said, the coach at Tulane is good. I said, what's good about him? He can coach. I got you in a minute, Jim. Let me talk to somebody. Melvin Duke. You tell me, I tell you, the coach at UT Arlington is good. And you ask me, well, what's good about it? Guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna give you some of his qualities and tell you what's good about it. Guess what he come back and told me? He can coach. He's a Division I coach. He should be able to coach. That's price for admission that I thought. So I keep asking, what does he want? Tell me what he's done. So I helped him. I said, talking about Georgia State? You were talking about the Georgia State? He didn't say nothing. I said, what you talking about? What he did at Tulane? I said, then he come back and said, Tulane has been a tough place to recruit. Go do your research. He can coach. I done my research, but I see you haven't. All you said is he can coach. Get what he come back and say it again. He can. I asked him what makes him a good coach. He never told me throughout the conversation. I'm going back and forth. Have y'all heard it yet? Then he can coach. He can coach. Then he switched the subject. And guess what he said? What are your thoughts on Kenny Payne? Listen to me, y'all. Listen to me. I'm done. We're trying to dumb down my intelligence so people can just be comfortable with it. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm just letting you know. I'm not dumbing down me. I'm gonna ask questions. Your ass better learn how to ask them, or you're gonna be left in the mud. He can coach. Jimmy, I got you on the screen. He can coach. Landon I won. He said, think about it, Hatter, Boutte, Green, and Sigler are all legendary coaches. Now, y'all, let me tell you something. I know the guys legendary coaches, man. But I'm just telling you. So you're saying the 409 era, Jimmy, I'm talking about Beaumont right now before I was so rudely interrupted by Corey. Beaumont, because they won. All of them teams, Jimmy, won a tournament. Let me give you the subject so you can catch up. Melvin Dude said, 409 strong, Beaumont United, Sylvie, Beaumont Westbrook, and Port Arthur all won first place in their tournament. So somebody come on and say, well, because you talk about, if somebody disagree with what you say. Somebody came on and said, he come on and said, Well, they always had some tough, good players in 409. That ain't got nothing to do. We got some good players in Houston. We got some good players in Dallas. We talking about all of these teams won first place in the tournament. And somebody just said something key to me, and I did not realize it. He said, Hatter, he was talking about the coaches. Think about it, Hatter. Boutte, Green, and Sigler are all legendary Hall of Fame coaches who are at the helm of these schools. Many of the other coaches in the area are from under them three. So their legendary coaches come in and pour into the coaches there. That's the reason for their success. People, I'm talking to the people in Beaumont. I told you, Jimmy, I'm finna ride up to Beaumont. I wanna breathe the air up there. Cause I wanna know what the hell is going on. Cause that's all I'm seeing. That's all I'm seeing, Jimmy. Beaumont. They kicked ass at Arkansas. Jimmy, they just whooping. Beaumont is whooping tail everywhere they go. And I'm just a guy that's gonna, when Melvin Dewes put that out there, I wanna know what's the secret? What's the secret? What's the secret up there? Y'all? Somebody help me. Y'all help me. Y'all help me up there now. Kenny Payne, lead Kenny Payne out of it. Y'all, Jimmy, I just want Jimmy. Maybe they don't know. Jimmy, you've been around. Let me see. What is the secret to Beaumont? He said it's been that way for a long time. Not to go winning everywhere. Now, come on now, Walter Yates. Now, it ain't been that way. Has it? Yeah. I haven't talked about on this show. I ain't talked about Beaumont so much in the 6 years I've been on. This must have been happening, Jimmy. Jimmy, you got to help me because you know the history. But it's been that way all the time. Somebody said it's been that way for a long time. I'm just trying to help. Corey, I don't even want to listen to you, Corey. Corey, I don't want to listen. You talk to Jimmy. I don't want to talk to you no more. Omar Sneed and his training program. Okay. So Omar Sneed has his hands on every one of these teams. Landon, those kids are raised in a culture of basketball like from little dribblers. Okay. What else we got? What else? Ain't we got some little dribblers down here? Similar? We got anything? Toughness? Andre Branch. So you tell me the people tougher in Beaumont than they are in Houston? I'm just asking. I'm asking. I'm asking for a friend. Rashad Duncan. Rashad, guess what? Rashad come on here the other day, Jimmy, and said, if you ain't talking about Beaumont and Silver, I ain't here for it. I don't want to hear nothing about it. Rashad, I'm talking about him today, baby. Rashad Duncan, you tell me what's going on up there on the 409 that got these guys playing like that. I just want to know. Jimmy, what's going on, man? I give me a drink of whiskey. I done started something, I see.
Yeah, that's, shout out to the 4 schools that won the championships. And then if you throw in, I think Barbazille won the championship of their tournament they played in as well.
That's out there too? That's 409?
It's I'm not sure on the phone area code. So it's right there at the
we talking about the 409, man. We talking about the 409.
At the cusp. Mount Bellevue. I'm not sure if that's 409 or not. But these first you have to realize that when we're talking about basketball, because in basketball that's what season we're in right now.
Yeah.
Those are 4 schools, the 2 high schools in Beaumont. As far as public schools, that's all they have. So if you live in Beaumont, you're either going to Westbrook public schools, Westbrook or United, right? In Port Arthur, That's the only public school that you have in Port Arthur. It's Port Arthur Memorial
The only public school
High School. The only public high school
in Port
that
Arthur. Okay, is in Port Arthur. Okay, I got you. I got
you live in Silsby.
you. Okay.
That's the only public
Public.
high school that you have
Oh, okay.
to attend.
Mm-hmm.
So the options are not
Okay.
widespread where you can live, like say a lot of the kids in Houston still live in their own house and they go over there. You even if you did live down in Beaumont, there's only been one or two kids who've escaped Alcatraz, so to speak, and made it up out of there and went on and it worked out for them. And that's Amari Abram,
Mm.
right? Remember he left down that way in Port
Uh-huh.
Arthur and followed Coach Coleman over to Summer Creek
I know.
before
Yeah.
leaving Summer
Yeah.
Creek and going to
Yeah.
California. And it worked out for him. He's over at Ole Miss playing. I'm
Doing
just
well.
saying, but he got national. His stock went up higher as a result. Both that area, they've done a great job at keeping the gate closed for the most part,
Mm.
being influenced to uproot and go and leave your parents' house chasing the bat.
Mm.
So the love from the community is
Interesting.
there, and that's one of the things that you don't see hardly anymore
I like
in in Houston, in the city of Houston,
that. I got you.
as you did in yesteryear because of where the proximity of where people live. And don't get it twisted. There are some people in Port Arthur who played at Nederland. There are some people in Beaumont who played at some of those other schools. Trust me, Hampshire Finette. You had different people that lived in their houses and still, but the options and the percentage of the odds on you making it, having success, aren't
like
as easy,
I like
you
that.
know, as it is down there. So therefore, the strength in numbers will be in favor of towns and areas. It's kind of like, and it's always, people say, well, it's always been like that. Yeah, because the options were always pretty much in the same realm of numbers.
That makes a lot of sense, Jimmy. I never looked at it. And none of y'all, you know what? Thank you, Jimmy. Because ain't nobody on this feed said nothing about that. But keep going, Jimmy. I like that. I like it.
So that's the thing, and you know, so people, and we embracing. The thing is, the 409,
Mm-hmm.
and this is where it comes in. Let's not, let's take it, we embrace it, run, and don't try to make it seem like something it ain't, because that 409 they've tried before in grassroots basketball. And if you go and you keep that talent down there, it would be hardly that you would have a consistent year after year power team that would go and make an impact on the nation, on the country, on the state. My point is 409 needs the 713.
Absolutely.
And the 281.
Absolutely.
It's a unified front.
Right.
And that's the thing. And so just like the 214, they
817, all of them, yeah.
They need the 817.
Yeah, I got you. I like that. I like that.
And it just so props to them.
But Jimmy, when stuff like that happen, I like to highlight. Cause you do this stuff, and when I see it, it's big news to me. Cause I'm coming from a whole nother set of lenses. I didn't never think about it like that. I wouldn't have known those other teams if he hadn't put this on this thing. I wouldn't have known those other teams won the tournament. But wait a minute, he talking about that. Yeah, I wouldn't if he hadn't put that up. So I'm just glad he showed me that all four of them teams, both 4 or 5 of them teams, they whatever tournament they was in, they went and took care of their business this weekend. Shout out to them.
And most of those star players, they integrate with the top shelf players from down there. They integrate with Greater Houston.
Right.
With the Houston players.
Right.
on summer grassroots team. Don't get it twisted. There have been a great effort to keep them there because the SBG program,
Mm-hmm.
which Omar Sneed had fingerprints in finding it, as one of the founders or administrators of the SBG before he flipped over to the girls' side.
Mm-hmm.
And now Omar Sneed is a Division I college coach, which prevents him from having any type of contact with those kids that's not his daughter moving
Mm-hmm.
forward for the near future, as long as he's an employee and a coach of a collegiate, which is now Lamar University.
That's a good
But
point. Check out that point there. So that's like when them guys get together, they getting the best of the best in their area. And our guys all over the world.
We got way more options of public schools.
Right.
Way more. And then guess what?
Right.
They don't have a legacy right down the street where you can still live in your own house, or a PSAT right down the street.
I forgot about that.
Live in your own house, or Provision, or Good Vision, or
Right.
they don't have those. Or hell, they don't have a Concordia or Houston Christian. They have Beaumont Kelly.
Okay.
Which at one time, Beaumont Kelly had a small window where they were attempting to move the needle, and then the powers that be kept their kids, influenced their families to keep their kids in public school. And that was, remember, Jacobin Brown played for Beaumont Kelly before, and he lived in Port Arthur.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a problem for a lot of people because Port Arthur at the time, it was it Port Arthur Memorial? Was it Port Arthur? Yeah, I think it was Port Arthur Memorial. Yeah, they were the Titans. So at the time, Port Arthur Memorial, they convinced Johnny Brown to let Jacobin come on home. Terrell Henderson was the coach at that time at Port Arthur Memorial. And guess what? They convinced him to do so. And that was kind of like the end, because Jacobin's older brother played at the Beaumont Kelly. And they both was playing there. You see? So then Beaumont Kelly, they got a 9th grader down there, I think, that's scoring at one of the schools that's scoring an abundance of points. But they haven't had a player that moved the needle to make that private school be totally attractive for basketball talent. And you got to have the dots got to connect properly. But I applaud Beaumont United. We've been rooting for them. We've been rooting for Silsby.
Absolutely.
And they both went to Arkansas, and they played in the tournament this weekend. And the weather, remember the planes and stuff. It was a couple of teams didn't even get out and make their flights. And they would, and so it's kind of like it made the people had to go and adjust the schedule, which Silsby played in a round robin division. Beaumont United played in a bracket division where they had to beat Pine Bluff High School in the championship to win it. Wesley Yates scores a highly, I'm gonna say acrobatic, but highly difficult shot going from the left side, and he had to raise up and shoot it basically almost one-handed with the right hand, as he was falling off balance as the buzzer was sounding for the 1-point win. But and he earned MVP of that. Of course, Wesley, he I think he finished with 18, I think, in that championship game, which was, he, and that's why I tell people, the star players, all people like.
What you doing to me, Jim?
I
You
got
back.
hicked up a little bit.
That's all right. You back. I guess I'll talk then.
Yeah, am I back now? There we go.
Oh, you're back. Okay. Now, what was you saying?
I said Wesley, he had 18. He earned MVP, Wesley Yates, in that tournament down there. Silsby, they won their round robin portion. In other words, They conquered the hand that was dealt to them. They didn't have to play in the bracket. They just won out their 3 games that they played. Uh, uh, I don't know who won. They had an MVP in that particular division, but Draylon Miller was very consistent. Jared Harris turned it on in the last 2 games after having single digits, being held single digits in one of the games, but they got the W's. And this team from Silsbee appears to be peaking. Remember, football players, it takes a few weeks, and they still don't have the whole team yet, Adam. They have another starter who got hurt in the state championship game.
This Silsbee?
Yeah, they have another starter, and he's been out there resting him to bring him on in. I think he should be coming in any day now, this other young man. Mm-hmm. But that's a great thing, and this is what it does. It makes you go, and all of the complaining and all of here's what happens. A lot of people plant this stuff into a lot of people's minds down in Greater Houston as though your schools ain't this. They are so much better over here. And I'm like, listen, man, guess what? DFW might have its peaks and valleys. Right now, or as of last year, they might have the better top-end teams. They might have a Duncanville or a Lake Island. But guess what? And I tell you, our 4, 5, 6, our 4th place, at middle of the pack, mm-hmm. Our middle of the pack in Greater Houston of our teams would gut punch the middle of the pack in other teams. Think about it. Thurgood Marshall, and if you've seen them play, it's Jalen Lowe and the 7 Dwarfs. And they went up to that Whataburger tournament and came this close. Had to go in overtime before losing in the semifinals.
Who beat them?
I'm gonna say the wrong team. I can't remember who they lost to. They went over in overtime. Jalen Lowe had 40 something out. Mm-hmm. Exploded down there. Once again, star player. If you eat, people paying their money to see you guys eat. And that's all they want to do. They want to see you eat. And if you get there and you ain't eating, then people saying, man, I don't know why they got this kid ranked that high. I went to see him play. I paid my money because now you're going to speak on it because your money, your finances is involved. I paid my money to see this dude put on work. That goes on any level, whether it be college, it could be the pros. If you go see a dude play, spend your money, take your family there, you want to see him eat. Guess what? Our guys have been eating. Another one, Jace Posey, he's been eating all year, and they went to Tampa, Florida, straight Jesuit. Won 3 straight games, won first place. Cy Falls, they went up to Missouri. Guess where they meet in the championship? Atascocita. 2 Greater Houston teams went to a power tournament with multiple out-of-state teams all the way up to Missouri and met each other in the championship. I mentioned to you.
That's a hell of a feat, that too. Hey, Melvin Dudes, why the hell you put that up there? But keep going.
And we're talking about out-of-state tournaments. This ain't just now. We branching on out now. It includes Beaumont United and Silsbee now because they were in Arkansas. So think about this. In one weekend. 1 week in a 4-day, 96-hour span or 72-hour span, 3 days, you had Beaumont. These teams went out of state public schools and won first place. Well, UIL schools. Straight Jesuit, Beaumont United, Silsbee, Cy Falls. In one whop. Understand that. That's remarkable. That's just out of state. That ain't counting the guys that won power tournaments within the state. And then you have another team that's a private school, that's Houston Christian, went to the Tarkanian Classic last week, Adam. Week before that.
Oh, that's right.
And they won first place over there. So if our basketball, they want you to believe that we're so down. Think about it. Our down is their up. That's why I keep telling y'all, But the thing that you notice, I like it this year because most of the stars are shining brightly. And that's a good thing. There are a lot of underclassmen getting down on these teams that's out there abroad. We mentioned Xavier Wheeler. Not Xavier, Montana Wheeler. Sorry. Keep confusing the brothers together. Montana Wheeler. And he's just in the 10th grade. And he got an MVP. He made all tournament this weekend. They had the Vite tournament. That's locally, Heather. And guess what happens? Booker T. Washington. Yeah, they went up to Thaddeus Moody. They went up to Illinois and got hit upside the head the other week. Last month. Yeah, they won the first one, lost the next three. But then guess what? Obviously, that was a good ass whooping. Because a good ass would make you go to make you mine.
And make you go to sleep too sometime.
Make you go to sleep. Yeah. Make you go to sleep. Then you wake up, you're gonna mind. You're gonna mind, you get a good one. So that was a good one. That's a good one. So because now they come back, they beat Dawson by double digits. Chris McDermott. See how everybody's, man, I can't see it. Man, I don't see it. I don't see it. Now guess what? Y'all see it now? Yeah, Chris McDermott is not a national. He doesn't move the needle on a national plane yet. But he gets one more opportunity this summer coming up. Meanwhile, people expect you to eat your vittles when you're on the local level. And that's what he's doing right now. I like that. And so Booker T. Washington won first place. Silsby won first place. Those two teams are the teams that everybody expects to be right back in the thick of things when
state championship
to go to state.
Right.
Those two teams. And I'm trying to think. Booker T. Washington is going to play Fur pretty soon. I'm trying to think the date. I said it before, and that's going to be Fur is a team that's the sleeper. That's the team that in that 4A, you don't want to see that Fur team. That team there, because they too.
I got to see this team.
Understand, just like I mentioned about Silsby is not complete yet with their roster, with their personnel. Well, neither is Fur. They got a dude that signed, I want to say he signed with Oklahoma State in football. He's their best athlete in the entire school. It's about, right? So he's a Division I football signee, and they're arresting him because they don't want, they're arresting him. They said to mid to late January, they'll let him play. So they're missing a key of 4-year starter that Fur is missing. And that's going to be intriguing whenever they play Booker T. I know they play on February the 4th, Sonya, but they play before the end, don't they? Or have they played already? Let me see. By the way, guys, we got the district standings up, Hal.
Oh.
Put them up on the website this morning.
Hush your mouth.
District standings. If you're on rcssports.com, you can go now and you can check out and see. Yeah. Fur beat them. That's right. They did play once. They played again February the 4th. Thanks. Fur beat Booker T a couple of weeks ago. So Fur, as it stands, they're the team to beat because they got the edge on Booker T. Now Booker T is playing good ball. So now we got 3 teams in the 4A that are merged because Fur is no longer a sleeper. Fur, you did a great job. People slept on you. People didn't see you coming. But guess what? Over the past 2 weeks, you beat Booker T. First of all, you started off by stumping a mud hole in Yates and Wheatley. Beat them by 64 points combined in 2 district games. Then you come back and people say, "Oh, that's just Yates. That's just Yates and Wheatley. That ain't, okay." in first say, y'all just hold tight. We got something for Booker T's ass. We're gonna take this thing over to Independence Heights, Acres Homes, Acres Shaker, and we're gonna do something with them. Pow, did it. Now you go and you play a team, one of the top teams from Louisiana, had them down by 20 plus last week. Come back and won the game over one of the top teams from Louisiana. So now you can't. I don't know how they're gonna keep the kids motivated because it was a great thing. Had the kids think, they disrespecting us, they sleeping on us. That's you can motivate kids like that. But once you get that notoriety, that ink, how will you keep them motivated? That's the thing. Did you just want Booker T? Well, you got Booker T. So now you got him. So now are you ready to cash out? Because Booker T wants you now. For the first time in a long time, Booker T players. We know the coaches wanted to piece each other. We talked about that before.
Oh, that's right. You said that.
The players want each other now. And guess what? So Booker T wants Silsby. Right? But then if you want Silsby so bad that you mess around and slip up against Fur, don't let that happen. Don't let that happen. So it's going to be interesting. I like this 4A. I like this 4A this year. And guess what? Booker T showed us something. They showed us something in the first game of the season. They showed us something, Hatter. They had faith.
They can play without. And that little young dude who took my man's spot.
Yeah. Otis
the little
Carter.
guard. I don't know his name.
Otis Carter. The football players were not in uniform yet.
Right.
But they had a 15-point lead on Fate Family.
Mm-hmm.
So, sometimes you can measure a team with their best punch. That was one of Booker T's best punches. Okay, we'll give you another punch from Booker T. Washington. They went down to Beaumont and handed Beaumont United their only loss of the season.
Wow, that's right.
They were ranked in the country at the time, in the top 25 in the country. So Booker T. Washington has beaten the top 25 team in the country this season. If they are punching properly, and it all comes down to the consistency. Because if you notice the games, what's similar, Hatter? They played Dawson. They played Dawson the other day in the VIPE Championship, right? Mm-hmm. And so Doug Jones did a recap of the game. So as Doug recapping the game, and I give you quote Doug Jones in his description of Chris McDermott against Dawson High School when Booker T won 70-55. Here's what Doug said. The best player on the floor was Chris McDermott. He's in 11th grade. He's about 6'6.5" at Booker T. Washington. He said he did whatever he wanted in the paint while finishing with 21 points on 8 for 11 shooting. He said, remember, he did whatever he wanted. You know what? Somebody else told me that when Booker T. Washington beat Beaumont United. You know what somebody told me? Man, that Chris McDermott did whatever he wanted against Wesley Yates them. And there they had Traylon Porsche. Yeah, they had all of that. But Chris McDermott did whatever he wanted. When this guy, remember, the game, go back to the Fate Family game. Chris McDermott only had 4 rebounds that game, Adam. He wasn't doing whatever he wanted. And that was against a Division I prospect a legitimate player with Division I offers in the front court that Fate Family has. Young fella got Virginia and several other offers. But that don't mean that was that night. That night, so that when people on a big stage, you got to eat.
If he had a guy with that big fella,
then he would
have I'd have known something. Yeah.
You see?
That's a good point.
It would have turned. And that's the thing. So we know Kenneth Lewis has been He signed with Prairie View, which is great because that means now he should be playing stress free or with less stress. But it doesn't seem like it because often last time I saw him play, and I think it might have been against Fur, right? He's frustrated out there. It's like you see him shooting unwarranted elbows here and there. He's taking ill-advised shots. Just not in a rhythm. Unless he gets an alley-oop. Once he gets a dunk, then he's ready to move.
So guess what, Jimmy? If I'm the point guard, just me, I'm going to try to get him a dunk early. See, we can get put. See, that's how you feed off, man. If I'm the coach, hey, man, let's run something for him. If I know, coach, I know we're expecting the guy to be great every time, but we got sometimes if I'm his teammate, hey, player, hey, I'm finna get you one right now. I want you to, hey, and I tell him, big fella, we finna go get you one right now. So off the rip, so we can be ready to go. Coach, that's what I call. That's what I call. To me, somebody got to encourage that kid. If you sing, because I know you expect. Because a coach called me and he asked me about him one time. I said, Coach, what you want to hear? You want to hear from me? I said, look, Coach, I've seen him go hit 30, but I haven't seen him hit 4. I had to tell the truth. I said, but I see him every time listen to me, Jimmy, and I don't know people because I look at the game different. Every time I see Booker T. Washington play, I expect something out of the Lewis kid. He just got all the measurables, Kenny. He up in there. But when I go see him, he got it in him to be up here. How can I get him to keep that? And then some people just can't do it. But boy, Jimmy Hicks, boy, I ain't gonna lie. Every time I watch him in warm up. I said, oh my goodness. He looked like one of them. He looked like one of the players. Coach is tearing your dough down. Jimmy, come on, Jimmy, come on. How can I get to him? How can I get to him? He got the measurables. But guess what? I was him with the rise of the SWAC. I'll take that and go in there and put everything I can into being the greatest basketball player because he got a coach at Prairie View is going to coach him. They're going to coach him to death. He got a coach that's going to go edit. So, shout out to Chris McDermott. I always thought he was good. Shout out to the guys, man. I love that team. I just love everything about the team. And you know why I love the team? Because it's an inner city school. Yes, y'all, I love inner city schools to win. That's why I'm proud. Jimmy, where is Fur? Where is Fur?
Fur is located, if you're in Houston, you think about going in the east part of Houston. Take I-10 from downtown.
Okay.
And you go into I-10 east.
Uh-huh.
And you're going, once you pass 610, that's where the Budweiser plant is.
Yeah.
Right? You pass 610, going I-10 east.
Okay.
You're gonna take the second exit.
Okay.
Maybe the first exit.
So it's not far from the studio we used to go to.
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah, it's right there.
Okay.
Yeah. Galena Park was right around the corner. Then Fur was the club by the second. You had Milby when the last radio station that we was at 102. What it was 102 point. What was it? 101.5.
Yeah, we'd had so many right here. I can't remember.
So Fur is right there when you get off the freeway and you make a left under the freeway.
Okay.
And it's right there, like 3 blocks off the free. So you're talking about proximity. They're the neighborhood right there by that Budweiser plant that was called Pleasantville, and then you got Clinton Park.
Yeah.
So Pleasantville, Clinton Park is on the back they're right up in there, and then you on the other side of Fur, that's like in the shadows of North Shore's school district, right? North Shore High School And so what happens, Fur has gotten a lot of the residue.
Oh,
Would
okay.
normally they can just go walk over to Fur, the North Shore and play. Well, Fur, if you play basketball, you know, you might well come on over to Fur and get some run in. North Shore, they're gonna try to put you on the football field, and you're probably not gonna be one of the starters. So it's easy sell now. And Fur, the school spirit is at a premium right now, and at levels that I haven't seen it in many years over at Fur High School. But still, it's got to keep winning. It's got to keep winning. It ain't where you're from, it's where you at in this thing. So we'll see how that goes with them. Good questions. Of course, somebody had mentioned about Coach Lewis. Should he be a coach of the year? Well, there's a few coaches that are in the runnings for a coach of the year right now, but he's definitely one of them. Once again, let's see how this thing finishes up.
I know where Furry is now, Jimmy. You're right. They got a new school. That's when he hit me. Did they redo the school?
Yeah, they redid most all the schools.
Yeah, but I remember. Okay, now I know. I've seen it. I've seen it.
They got hit. And one thing about Fur, you're not going to just accidentally cruise by Fur High School. That's one of the few high schools in HISD. That you're just not going to stumble by them on just a week. You gotta know you're going.
I was over there for some reason, and somebody told me that's Fur. I said, I ain't never been on this street before in my life. That's why you just made me remember now. Somebody said something about it's got a new school, so somebody took me by there. Okay, I got it now.
Yeah, and so I like that. And what else we have out there? I'm reading some of the comments right now, and you guys, we got one of the things that I'm, by being a new year, and you guys, I'm put it on notice right now that, like I said, at some point, you look in the gyms and you got a ton of people who's goes up under the shingles of evaluators and media and all this stuff nowadays, and it's kind of and it's like they all could be in the gym and watching the same game, and a lot of them go to the same games over and over and over. And really and truly, I really believe a lot of them just like seeing each other more than they like working and evaluating the kids.
In other words, go to a gym when ain't nobody at. Because I asked somebody about a gym. I'm glad you brought this up, Jimmy.
You don't do that enough.
I said, why ain't nobody over here covering the St. John's and the game? Two of the top players in the everybody over here at Bite.
And that's why I made it a conscious effort to take my ass over to Second Baptist High School.
Right.
I mean, it's like
so you weren't trying to see all them folks over there.
Exactly. So that's the difference. So that's a big understanding. And
they might like to see each other, Jim. They might.
Well, but damn, you just saw them the other day.
Yeah, and they on the group chat together. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, but the thing is this. And I try to teach some of these young guys the art of it. The thing that has become now is that the mask is off on so many people. So many people, the mask is off, meaning that you're compromised in regard to financially. So to the point whereas if you got stuff going on, you want support from some of these people. If you're able to, you need to go out and support and show your face at their event. But then a lot of people can't go show their face at the event because the other event then paid you to be there. And you didn't even put a clause in to say, well, that's all you got to do. Look, if you're going to offer me $100, how about this? I'll just take 50 and I'll come half a day because I need to be over here the other half day. So now you still can get your bread, but you ain't getting yourself locked in to some in some cases become bad basketball, and it becomes transparent or so transparent to others. Like I made my way this past weekend to Tim Tim's event over at St. Thomas High School. I went to Second Baptist twice. Went there the first time, the damn power had went out. Came back on championship afternoon, but that don't mean everybody got to do what I do. No, I'm just explaining to you guys what the optics are, and these same people, then you go and you want their support. But if the time ain't convenient, and you don't make out the time, I understand. A lot of you guys, you're for hire, and if you for hire, a lot of people, that means they're going. And for hire mean if you paying me to come and film your kid, that's why I gotta go. Hey man, that's cool. That's fine and dandy. But that's different. The video guys is different. That's why they have a video service and they have a scouting service. They're not bundled together. If you try through an NCAA, if you ask your question, do you disseminate video? You got to say yes or no. If yes, there's a whole nother flock of questions and a whole nother stuff, spider web you have to untangle before you get their approval. But in the evaluations, the art of it is to try to see as many people or many teams that you can. And that's what we try to strive to do with RCS Sports. But at the same time, you got to, how many times and how many games do you guys go to that you don't want to be there before you even go? You know what I'm saying? It's like work. Like if a person going to run and working out, they mean they got to go run a couple of miles, and they really don't want to work out that day. That means you got to do something that needs to be done, even though you don't want to do it. That's the thing that a lot of guys out here have to do. So in other words, it's like the Fur. I've seen Fur play this year, and I know Doug Jones has seen Fur play. He saw him play this past weekend.
I have.
Over at the at St. Thomas. I think it was at one of the events this past, St. Thomas High School at Tim's event. But you guys, you got to realize just all you do is pay attention. It just gets me sometimes with so many guys, everybody in the same gym. And it's gonna happen sometimes, Adam.
Maybe they just want to go see the game. They ain't really coming. So that's why you talking about with a mask off. You going to watch the game instead of going and broadening your footprints on seeing more teams. And again, maybe these guys, maybe they seen all the other teams. I don't know.
I mean, and my thing is with certain people. And I asked the question last week. How many times is enough times in a certain span to see a kid play?
How many times what?
How many times is too much?
I ain't gonna tell you no lie. If I see him 2 times, I'm done.
I mean, because why I asked this, and I asked this question because I was talking with one of the NBA scouts. Mm-hmm. And I probably say, man, how many times is enough times for you to see these college kid before you can draw a professional analysis of him? Mm-hmm. And he was like, shit, be truthful, depending on who he's playing against. That's why they like to see certain kids. That's why they go to a practice or two. They do a little bit more. That's required. And if you want to get that, you got to go to the practice.
Yeah.
You're evaluating kids. You're in preparation where you have to sit down in a few hours on a radio broadcast from Texas Southern versus Southern. So Chris Walker has to go just like he does television broadcasts. So before that game day, you have to start well before game day collecting your intel. You go and you get you a folder, and you get you a folder like this, and you flip the folder up like this right here, and you go and you make your notes on this folder. You'll color code them. I'm telling you what you do. I'm telling you, I've been there, done that. And it's kind of in regard, and people, you get your folder, you make your notes on the folder, you color code them, and here's the thing, you can't. There you go. You go. I say color code. You see. This is what preparation does. What it takes. That's just understand.
That's just one game.
It's one game. So now,
Then hold up, Jimmy. I have before for what? The men and the women. Look, Jimmy, for the men and the women. So
if I'm you, you got to go to the store tomorrow because season just started and get you another color for the women. That way it's easy. You ain't got to even read nothing. You know, your pink might be for the women's. That way you can see them from a mile away and know which one is which. That way it save you.
Dude, I'm so organized. I ain't taking but 2 at the game anyway.
No, I'm just saying that way now you can know them from afar which one which. You got to even pick it up, flip it over. You already know.
I might do that. You know what? I might do that one. This is my first. Hey, this is my first game. So this is my first game tonight. It's gonna be on in there tonight.
So,
Jimmy, I forgot to give you some news about what happened. I can't tell it on the air, but it's.
You know what I do, Adam?
What?
When I go and I'm writing, I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna give you young guys some tips out there, and I'm gonna probably do more tipping in 2023. Say if I'm at a game, and let's say I'm writing notes, right? At some point, maybe at halftime, I might have 2 highlighters or 2 different colors in my pocket. I'm gonna pull those colors out. One of those colors are going to mean something, and the other color will mean something. You don't know what it means. You could be sitting right next to me because there's so many people be eye hustling. So I just write some notes, or I might get a highlighter header, and I might just highlight the kid name. You don't know what that highlight means. You have no earthly idea what it means. I do. You got to have them colors. That way now, when you get to a certain point, you know what that means. You know if he stank. You can't, because you write on your paper, somebody else might, they got some bad cell phones nowadays. They can get that thing, man, look what he wrote. Look what he talked, they know what you're thinking. Somebody can catch you slipping next to you, screenshot. Nah, I'm almost writing in shorthand when I'm taking notes a lot of these games a lot of times.
You got to worry about it. Ain't nobody that close to us watching us. They can't see it. They got to have a telescopic lens to beam way down there.
He said,
but you know what, though? It's funny, though, man, that you mentioned that and the stuff you had to be prepared for. You want to just know stuff because you might have to bring it up during the broadcast. And you ain't got time to be, that stuff got to be right there at your thing. So it's unique. It ain't easier than it looks. That's all I can tell people. It ain't easier than it looks if you want to be good.
Somebody just asked a question on that. I like your question. I welcome all your questions, guys. If we're gonna ask you to start off the new year with the good round of sharing right now. Let's all share the show, if you would, to your timelines, to your pages. Let's get it going on. I see some of you guys out there. Rod Wells, I see you.
Paul Miranda, what's up, baby? I just seen it.
And see Paul Miranda over there. Michael Jordan back with us again. I see Michael Jordan over there. Of course, you guys know you see Doug Jones. Robert Veazey is when they say meet me at the spot to do pregame. Robert Veazey, we got a better spot than the spot, but yeah.
Hey, what? Oh, Ito.
I might.
Ito, which one you like? What's better than this?
Which one? They got 2 of them, Rob Veazey. Which one?
Yeah. Ito, I like Ito. I went one time.
Now, somebody asked me, I see who's that asked the question. King Sticks. Somebody says, who is the best? That's King Sticks said, who's the best guard in HISD this year?
I didn't see that.
Ooh, the best guard, remember, damn, we said we was going to talk about this today. I'm glad you brought it up.
HISD. Oh, HISD.
Yeah, Houston Independent School District.
Okay, I got you.
We talk so much about Fur and Booker T. But who's the best guard? The best guard in that district. Remember, there's a difference between best and most recruitable. There's a big difference. And we have to do better at educating others within your ear reach to let them understand.
Well, Jimmy, why can't the best, most recruitable be the best?
It can, but that don't mean if you're the best, that don't mean you're the most recruitable. Right?
Okay, you're right. Gotcha.
That don't mean you're the most recruitable.
Gotcha.
But then sometimes the best get confused. They say, well, if I'm the best, then why ain't that? Put it like this. There's been several years, a couple of years ago, the leading scorer in the nation went to Texas Southern University. And then a year or two before or after, the leading scorer in the nation went to University of Houston. His name was Aubrey Coleman. Aubrey Coleman led the country in scoring. He thought, because he was the best.
He just led the nation in scoring. He know he wasn't the best guard.
No, in his mind, he thought that warranted an NBA. He was an NBA recruit. You know what I mean?
Okay. I got you.
You know what I'm saying? So
Jimmy, most times those guys are not NBA recruits.
Most of the time they're not. TSU had the big long 6'9" kid. Remember they went to the dance with Mike Davis. This dude led the country in
I ain't here to lit.
He figured he's 6'9". You're the best. It don't mean you're the most recruited.
Gotcha. You done froze up on me. You coming back. You coming out here you now.
So now, the question in HISD, who's the best guard? The best guard in HISD, the best guard, is the kid at Wheatley.
At Wheatley?
Yeah.
I ain't seen him. What's his name?
Julius Crosby.
Okay. All right.
He's the best guard. Right now. He's not the best.
What grade in?
He's a senior.
Oh, so in other words, every night he tearing somebody's head off.
Tearing somebody's ass off the bone every
night. Okay. Yeah, I like him.
Every night.
Okay. I got you.
Every night. You know, and that's the thing, and you got, and I'm.
Hey, let me help Jalen Lowe. Jalen Lowe that's not HISD. Paul Miranda.
Yeah, that's not HISD.
That's not HISD. All right, let's keep going.
Yeah, so you know, and don't get it twisted. But we're talking about. Remember, and you mentioned Kenna Lewis. Kenna Lewis won't play guard at Prairie View. He's not a guard at Booker T. Washington. Y'all can, at his best case scenario, you're going to call him a wing. At his best. So let's not do that man like that. Because it is what it is. Kenna Lewis.
So he's not a guard to you? He ain't no point guard. He can't.
He's not a shooting guard either. So what kind of guard is?
Well, the shooting guards and the wings are now interchangeable. Jim.
Wing can be wing forward. Wing can be wing guard.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I say interchangeable.
If you're hitting shots, then that wing becomes and turns into a wing guard. But from out there,
he shoots a lot of them. He's a shot taker.
We need a shot. We need to be a shot maker, and that's not easy.
I just love that kid, man. I'm sorry. I don't know why. I just like him. So the dude at Wheatley, what's his name? Crosby?
Yeah, Julius
Crosby. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. I got you.
NHISD right now. I mean, right now, understand.
It ain't even close.
No, it's not. It's not like that. No, just right now before it's consistency. Consistency.
Mm-hmm.
If you're whooping Wheatley ass, he gonna get paid. If you're whooping Booker T ass, that's Kenna Lewis gonna get paid.
I got you. Okay.
That don't make him a better prospect.
I got
Kenna Lewis is far better prospect.
That
ain't even close. But what are y'all expecting? If you're that high, what are you expecting from Kenna Lewis next year, a year from now at Prairie View? Right now, based on what you've seen right now, what do you expect him to do next year when he walk up in there? There's no such thing as what's the over and under on his minutes? Y'all post it right there so we can have some receipts on the chop shop.
Yeah, I can't do that, Jim. I don't have that kind of forecast bone in my body. I don't have that.
Now,
he said there's a big storm out on the other side of town. It's coming here too.
Somebody say, what about the kids at Madison? The kids at Madison, Mason Allen is doing very good. He's been pretty consistent for the most part, based on expectations, because he's one of those guys, kid that when his line gets on, He's a streak shooter. When the line get on, he can get that shot up and get it up out, and it goes in. He's a shot maker. Once that line gets on early, once it gets on, he's a below the rim guard. So that's the thing that's going to when you start. Like I said, we're not talking about. I'm splashing on college recruitment or recruitability, and college coaches going to wonder who can you stay in front of. Can you defend?
Mm-hmm.
And the defense part that will prevent, even though a kid like Mason Allen may be one of the leading scorers in the city, he's not the player that Julius Crosby is.
Mm.
He's not.
He's a senior.
You know,
Mason a senior.
Mason is a senior.
Okay.
Now, by what Mason has done, he's exceeded all expectations.
Yeah.
Right. People in Fifth Ward knew Juju was going to be their guy, and Madison beat Clear Lake, I think, the other day. How?
Who on Clear Lake?
Madison has become Clear Lake High School.
Who on their team?
They got a little cat, a little guard that scores about 22. You know, a system program. You know, that's. But Madison is a viable 5A opponent this year. Madison is a team. I like to say Mason Allen. He's playing and he keeps going. He's going to play himself into an opportunity in a non-Division I capacity where he would really get a chance to play next year. And all he got to do is just keep getting it off his chest as far as in basketball. Keep doing what he's doing. And I'm going to be at the finish line to pull him on cross. And because he's like family. That's like a nephew to me. So, but at the same time, you guys know, and I've shown and proved, I've had several relatives that came to this basketball arena. First cousins, blood cousins, that they don't, and I had the same rule of thumb. I give you a little help, a little nudge. I'll put you in the rankings when you really need to be ranked. I remember I told you can slide a kid at number 99. Nobody ain't gonna pay attention to number 99. They'll pay attention to number 100, number 50. Nobody pay attention to number 51. Slide the kid in the rankings. And then you keep him there. Next thing you know, kids start playing. Whatever Mason Allen is ranked right now, when the new rankings come out in the next week, you guys know he's going to go up. Certain kids, you know his rank going up. Because now people, he ain't like the kid that's just Marjorie's son, that's just, he with the RCS sports family. No, he's been
Oh, that's Marjorie's son?
Yeah, it's Marjorie's son.
Okay.
He's busting people's ass right now.
Okay.
And now what it does, he took pressure, he does what's been required of him to do. More than required. That's take the pressure off Jaden Gambrell. Jaden Gambrell is the most recruitable player on the Madison team. Right? Mm-hmm. He's the most recruitable. And he's been fairly consistent, for the most part. It got room for improvement. Everybody does. But that team, I'm impressed with Madison. And especially you hear all the chatters in the off season. People, man, what's wrong with Coach Morrow? Coach Morrow gonna be all right. What are you expecting him to do? And they don't have a lot of personnel. They suit up like 8 players, Adam, on that Madison team. So Madison, think about it. Adam, think about this. Paul Miranda mentioned Thurgood Marshall a while ago. We know Thurgood Marshall is the favorite in 5A in this region. One of the favorites. Another favorite in this region would be Lufkin High School, right? Lufkin is a favorite. They moved them into this region now. They're in Region 3. They was in Region 2 before. So Lufkin is a favorite. Thurgood Marshall is a favorite. Then you have, of course, some of those teams from down in Killeen and Austin, some of those guys, Killeen Ellison, and all the Schumacher and all those guys. Then you got some of the teams from Pflugerville in that same region. But we're talking about the Greater Houston team. Let's go back to them. Thurgood Marshall. After then, who you throwing in the 5? Who would you nominate? What? Barbers Hill. Okay, throw Barbers Hill name up there. After Barbers Hill, then who? Guess what? That next level and compatible is Madison. It ain't hard, man. It's 5A. It's 5A. Madison can go 3 rounds. Get there, you get the right flip, right set of refs. You can do anything. Yeah, see what happens. Once again, guys, the district standings are updated on rcsports.com. You can go to rcsports.com, click on the district standings. We're probably the only website in the United States of America that covers a metropolitan area that has district standings updated and pretty accurate right now, today. You know, that takes a lot of work and a lot of manpower to do so. So shout out Doug Jones for keeping that thing populated with those district standards. I'm reading some of the comments on here, and a lot of people put their predictions on there. Somebody said 10 to 12 minutes. Freidman, Chasten and Clark says red shirted. Rob Visa say limited minutes. Rob, what would you call limited? What's the range? Give us a range. Don't just say limited. We're gonna say that's
I'm just gonna. You know what I'm gonna say? It's according to how good of a summer he make. I think he gonna be one of the top 8 players.
So what minute slot?
So minutes. So that's gonna be between 10 to 15 minutes.
So you got 10 to 15 minutes.
Yeah. I got faith in you, Kenneth Lewis. I got faith in you, man. I don't care what nobody say.
And so he's long, and he fits the bill for the coming into the SWAC. But I think that's when the coach gets on him, like we know, like Byron Smith, Kenneth Lewis can shut down a little bit. So he has to be able to overcome or implement a mechanism, a mental mechanism in place, to whereas he can take that, whereas Gomer Powell can take Sergeant Carter in his ear constantly, getting on him, and because they're gonna what they're gonna do is a lot of coaches, they have to deprogram you in order to reprogram you, and sometimes the deprogramming phase, it ain't easy for a lot of kids. I mean, everything damn near that you thought you done learned that was right, you go to find out that don't even apply in what this system is that you're about to go in. And that's the thing. That's why it's so important for kids that sign with colleges to be able to be in communication with those colleges, with those college coaches, to ask them on a weekly basis, wrong, what do I need to work on this game? What do I need to do better?
If he come in with that kind of attitude, Jimmy, that's all. I was helping you out. Yeah. If he come in with that, you were just talking about things he got to do. If he come in with the kind of attitude you just said, Coach, what do I need to do? Coach,
he started right now. Started right now. No, right now while you're in this season, your high school season, you want to ask that college coach, Coach, what do you need? What do you think I need to?
That's a good point. Absolutely.
Right now, they gonna tell you. Trust me, they're gonna figure that out when you get on campus. But right now, because what you do when you ask a person that, by default, if that person cares a little bit, they're gonna pay attention to you.
Oh, absolutely. I hope he's watching, Kenneth Lewis. I hope you're watching.
That's all you got to do is go and ask. You could go and ask him, what do I need to work? Man, I need you. And the coach going to tell you something.
Yeah.
No matter what the hell else you learned.
Yeah.
You better
do that.
That next game, that coach might say, I need you to finish with your left hand on the left side.
Right.
Just say if a coach said that, use an example.
Right.
Not just anything to do with Kenneth Lewis. This is in general.
Anybody. Yeah.
And you get in that game, and you got a left-handed opportunity on the left side, and you fucking finish with the right hand, after he just done told you then you're gonna be in trouble. But if you finish
So
that
should he try it in a Jimmy? You shouldn't try nothing in a game that you ain't done a million times in practice.
yeah, but it's on something
You
like
said work on it. So you got to work on Jimmy because sometimes it takes, like I used to teach a move and help a kid. Sometimes it takes 2 or 3 months for a kid to just, in the instinct of a game, just do that now.
well, here's the deal, Hatter. Just say an example, and you say something you'll try in the game. Well, when you're asking a coach, what should I work? What do you need me to do better? What should I, not what I need to work on. That's what I need to do in practice. What do I need to do better in this game tonight? What would you like to see me do? Now that coach might say, when you got that ball, you're dribbling too damn much. We don't have, we understand you don't have a shot clock. We do. That drives me fucking crazy to see you dribble the ball like that.
Absolutely.
Because every time I see you get it, you taking 5 seconds off before you even move.
Now that's one he can stop immediately.
So now, exactly. So now, if you do 2 things, I understand. You might ain't, and then you got just don't dribble.
Yeah. I can't stand them ball beaters. Yeah, right.
Dude, Adam, when I was in Duncanville High School, and we'll talk about them on tomorrow. You guys, we talk about Duncanville tomorrow. They got upset this past weekend, but they have a player on that team, right? Guess what the coach told him? So it's the only white kid on the team. His name is Jackson Prince Jackson, right? The white kid. The coach told them, if you dribble, I'm taking you out.
I love that coach.
If you're in a half-court set, if you dribble the ball, I promise you're taking you out. And somebody told me that, so I'm paying attention to him to see if he's going to foul. And I'm telling you, he want to dribble, and he can't get it. In other words, they want him to get it and shoot it. If he's open.
I got another one. I want your coach to tell people. If you catch that ball and don't face and look at the basket, I'm taking your ass out. I can't. That's one of my pet peeves. Players, coaches, trainers. Jimmy, they grab the ball and don't even look. The man could, hold up, his defender could have fell down. But he would know because he just looking to pass the ball. He ain't even looked at the goal. I can't